into Gabby Williams, got hit in the forehead, and it caused 2 black eyes. And you can still see some of the remnants of them, and now she's sporting the bloody lip. She is as tough as they come.
Gabby Williams took a shot to the forehead that left her with 2 black eyes, faint traces still visible. And now she's playing through a split lip. She's as tough as they come. Lexi Hull matched that grit with a performance Indiana fans won't forget. She walked into the Chicago game already sporting those 2 shiners, left with a busted lip, and still delivered one of the toughest nights of her career. What she said afterward is what really has everyone buzzing. Indiana's command over Chicago, despite everything stacked against them, is proof they're not just sneaking into the postseason. They're actively reshaping who they are in front of our eyes. Think that's impressive? Wait until you hear Hull's post-game message. It might end up being the quote that defines the Fever's playoff push.
Bow, bow, bow! That's a W. Made it out. All we gotta do is keep making it out. Woo! Dubs!
How do you keep winning when your star is out and half your rotation is held together with tape? That's the question Indiana faced the moment Caitlin Clark made it official. She would miss the remainder of the season. In her own words, "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season." A stubborn groin injury from mid-July never truly cooperated. For weeks, fans clung to the hope of a late return. When the announcement landed, that hope vanished, and the Fever had to rewrite their entire playoff plan on the fly.
Caitlin Clark released a statement saying this: "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way the fans continue to show up for me and for the Fever brought me so much joy and important perspective. I am so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the playoffs."
Clark's full statement underscored the grind. She had spent hours every day in the gym trying to get back, felt a level of disappointment words barely cover, and still found gratitude for the fans and pride in a team that kept growing through adversity. Now, she said, it was time to finish the job and secure a playoff spot. It wasn't only Clark. The snake-bitten label fit Indiana all year. Sophie Cunningham was done for the season. Sydney Colson tore her ACL. Chloe Bibby kept battling knee trouble. Ari McDonald broke her foot. That's a full layer of contributors. Your enforcer, a veteran guard, floor spacers, ball handlers, gone. Instead of fine-tuning a playoff rotation, the coaching staff was forced into nightly lineup triage.
At the end of the day, she's been working her butt off to be able to get back, and we've kind of run out of time to be able to do it in a safe way, in a safe manner. And I think we've all been very open and upfront with her long-term health and wellness is the most important thing. And to be in a position that you need to be in to play at this time of the year, we just ran out of time to get her there.
Head coach Stephanie White didn't hide the frustration. She acknowledged how much Clark had done to position herself for a return, then explained the bottom line. They simply ran out of calendar to do it safely. The organization aligned behind the same priority: long-term health over short-term risk. Even so, Clark's leadership never wavered. She was locked in on the bench, huddles and high fives, voice cutting through timeouts. Her shoes weren't on the floor, but her presence absolutely was. That mattered because the playoff race was razor thin. Indiana edged into the week sitting 8th, barely ahead of the Sparks. One stumble and they could have slipped out. Survival became the theme. Could this shortened roster hold on long enough? Could they replace Clark's impact without losing belief? It felt less like a strategy test and more like a will test. All that pressure poured into the matchup with Chicago, and Indiana turned that heat into fuel.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, number one, just all the injuries that she's had. Obviously, I wouldn't speak for her, but and the amount of work that she's put in to position herself to be able to play, and then to have to ultimately make this decision. There's disappointment. There's the obvious frustration that's come with not being healthy really for an entire season. But ultimately, I think the big picture is the most important thing, and those are conversations that we've continued to have. And the message has continued to be that it's not her long-term health and wellness and her being 100% when she's ready to go is the most important thing.
Final score, 97-77. On the surface, a clean 20-point win. In context, it was something much bigger. The Fever didn't just beat the Sky this year. They swept them 5 times by an average of 24 points. That's not a hot shooting night, that's separation. And Indiana executed like a team that understood both the rivalry and the stakes. Kelsey Mitchell led as she has all season. 20 points, 8 assists, full control of pace. This wasn't a heat check evening, it was orchestration. She toggled between organizer and scorer seamlessly, punishing switches and feeding teammates into rhythm shots. Natasha Howard stacked winning plays at both ends, 18 points, 7 boards, 4 steals, mixing strength at the rim with defensive disruption that stunted every Chicago surge. Odyssey Sims added quick strike rim pressure and poise in the backcourt. Aaliyah Boston did the essential work inside, deep seals, finishes through contact, gravity that bent the defense. Aerial Powers provided instant offense and edge off the bench, keeping the Sky on their heels for 4 quarters.
If a newcomer in Bree Hall plays tonight, Boston on a kick out. Mitchell, oh, she's hot to start. Mitchell finds Dantas, who rolls and lays it in.
One stat captures the identity, 27 assists to 9 turnovers. That's trust and discipline, and remarkable considering how often Indiana has had to shuffle roles. No hero ball, no hunting. Just sharp decision-making and relentless shot creation through movement and spacing. Chicago couldn't keep up. Each defensive mistake became a layup, an open 3, or a foul drawn. This was bigger than one win. The sweep shoved the Sky out of the way and gave Indiana control of its destiny. With results elsewhere breaking in their favor, the climb to 7th, and even a shot at 6th, suddenly looked real. That's not a fluke. That's momentum converging with identity.
Mitchell, will she add to it? Whips it back for Dantas. Kelsey Mitchell putting on a show here in Indy.
Look at the spin on the ball. Just one dribble over the head pad.
Mitchell's been brilliant on a kick out to Howard. Mitchell bouncing. Howard, the left hand.
And then getting a stop on the defensive end. I know Coach Stephanie White is happy with her team with that.
Mitchell being hounded by Atkins, trying to shake her. Mitchell bounces inside, and Howard gets the roll.
And at the center of it all stood Lexi Hull. She didn't top the scoring column, but she owned the moment. This is the best season of her career. Career highs across categories, more than 50 threes splashed, and defense that tilts possessions. She took the toughest perimeter jobs, 8 contact, contested everything, and never blinked. The 2 black eyes she carried into the night and the split lip she picked up during it didn't change a thing. She played through it, and that refusal to sit spoke louder than any stat line.
7 of them came in the second quarter. Indiana's just been able to hold Chicago at an arm's length here tonight. And Natasha Howard putting together one of her best games of the season.
The men saying that little bunny, just the possession before, comes up through the contact, goes straight to her chest. Not a...
Sims finds some space and can't get the roll. Howard charging, tips it, comes down with it, and flips it home.
Stephanie White has said it plainly. Hull embodies what the Fever want to be, resilient and fearless. That sort of praise isn't handed out, it's earned with effort that doesn't waver. Teammates lean on her communication, her hounding closeouts, her willingness to do the grinding work that makes the rest of the scheme hum. It's no coincidence that the defense sharpens with Hull on the floor. Asked about the bruises after the game, she smiled and said she tends to forget about them during play, only to remember when she catches her reflection. She brushed off sympathy. Beneath the humor was a message: we play for each other and absorb what comes. It captured the mood of the room, a team that has decided who it is and how it wins. The context makes Indiana's dominance over Chicago even more striking. 5 games, 5 wins, the most lopsided 5-game point differential between 2 teams in league history, and all while missing 5 rotation players at various points.
She is the team's leading scorer with Angel Reese not available. Hull lob it inside. Boston spins and finishes. So far in the second half, it's been 1 step forward, 1 step back for the Sky. Boston turns the corner on Cardoso, banks it home, and a foul.
This isn't a one-star blueprint. It's a system. Defend with purpose, share the ball, run with control. That's travel-ready basketball. White has preached, every game is a playoff game since July. That mindset hardened this group. They don't wait for the calendar or crunch numbers in the standings. They execute their habits possession by possession. You can see it in the second and third efforts, in the extra pass, in how they kill live dribble turnovers and minimize empty trips. The rivalry noise was always going to simmer. It didn't go unnoticed that Chicago was without Angel Reese after an automatic suspension tied to her 8th technical.
Let's guy, they just got to get into their sets a little bit quicker.
Here's Hull off the Boston screen. She hits, and Indiana is...
I love the way that she's been able to elevate her game.
The youngsters out of South Carolina, who both are having strong seasons, as Indiana has opened up 3 for 3 with Lexi Hull.
Mentioned, whenever she sees you with the 2 black eyes, she smiles in a way because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these 2 black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, you don't need to be sorry. This is what it is. And when I'm playing, like, I forget about it, and then I go and look at the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, he's still there. So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine.
Yep.
All right.
Nothing's changed.
All right, perfect.
Indiana ignored the chatter and kept the main thing, another mark of a team identity taking root. So what's next? The berth is essentially locked and, more importantly, earned. The Fever have proved they're more than their injuries and more than any one player. Yes, even one as transformative as Clark. Their blueprint is clear now. Connected defense, balanced scoring, and role clarity that makes each shift matter.
Right, especially this group that's been here, that's gone through all of this, and then the ones that we've brought in with O and Che and AP. I mean, these are women who care about winning. These are women who care about one another. These are women who sacrifice every single day.
When Clark returns healthy next season, that foundation turns promising resilience into real ceiling. For the present, the takeaway is straightforward. Indiana isn't backing into anything. They're imposing themselves, sweeping a rival, securing position, and showing what this team stands for: toughness, depth, and accountability. That's why Hull's bruised smile landed like a mission statement.
By my rough count, the Fever have beaten the Sky by 12,000 points in their 5 games this season. I'm not perfectly sure on that number, but it seems correct, as they smack the Chicago Sky yet again. Basically, they've already been in a good playoff position, but cement a hold on a playoff spot. Brilliant once again. Lexi Hull playing through a busted lip after she's played through black eyes, which came from the knot on her forehead, which, is sort of exemplifies the Fever season, the way they fought through things. You got all players on crutches and carts before the game. Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, ruled out for the season. It makes you think what could have been, but what is a smacking for the Sky whenever they face them, and a playoff spot almost assured for the Indiana Fever.
The Fever's identity isn't theory anymore. It's visible, it's repeatable, and it's built to survive playoff basketball. Indiana 97, Chicago 77, 5 straight wins in the matchup, 27 assists, 9 turnovers, 2 black eyes, a split lip, and a locker room that looks more connected under pressure than it did at full strength. The Fever didn't just add a win, they showed exactly how they plan to keep winning without their star, and exactly how dangerous they'll be when she's back.